Congresswoman Corrine Brown says she's fighting against a lynch mob. That's how she's describing the media covering her federal corruption case.
Brown, who would face 357 years in prison if she's convicted of the charges against her, took to her website today to blog about her opinion of news reporters. She is accusing them of, quote, coming at me like a lynch mob, demanding that I prove my innocence in a 20-second soundbite, end quote. This comes as Brown prepares to head back to court next week. She will be in front of a federal judge who's going to be considering the situation with her trial after her third set of attorneys backed out of the case.
Channel 4's Alicia Booth is joining us live outside the federal courthouse to explain what comes next legally for Brown. Alicia?
She needs a brand new legal team. Technically, those lawyers are still representing her, and that won't change until everybody meets here at the federal courthouse on Tuesday. In the meantime, Brown is as fiery as ever, protecting her innocence. As Democrat Corrine Brown continues to campaign to keep her seat in Congress, she is also struggling to find the right lawyers to represent her against 22 federal charges of corruption. It's proven to be an expensive balancing act. Just this week, the I-Team told you Brown's financial disclosure forms show she has as little as $2,000 to $30,000 in the bank and 3 outstanding mortgages up to $1 million. Now she's facing a cash issue.
Yes, I am, but I've done everything I needed to do in the campaign, and money is coming in. My colleagues is giving money, and we got our website now up, and people are beginning to give.
During a post-debate press conference Thursday night, Brown said she no longer talks to the attorneys who asked off her case after 2 days of work on it. But she made it clear she has no intention of using a public defender.
And I'm putting together a legal team. It's not just one lawyer. So I have a team and I have a group, and part of that team is already together.
This is the most serious challenge you faced in your time in Congress?
Yes.
Former federal prosecutor Chris Fallgatter sat down with us to watch Brown's comments. He told us it's very likely the federal judge will allow her current attorneys to withdraw from her case. He says she'll have to answer questions about finding the new ones, though, and legal fees will likely cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars. Fallgatter, who is now a criminal defense attorney, also says it's pretty clear she wants to find someone who won't pressure her to take a plea deal if prosecutors were to offer her one.
Because I don't care if they offered her a day, I don't think she'd ever plea. And you have clients who absolutely will go to their grave believing in their innocence, and I think she will.
Fallgatter says that passion when she speaks of her innocence will help her if she testifies in her own defense. You'd put her on the stand if you were defending her?
I don't think you could not put her on the stand.
Fallgatter says that she comes across as very believable when she's talking about her innocence, and that could make a major difference with the jury. But he doesn't believe this is going to go to trial before the end of the year. Assuming she does get that new set of attorneys, they have to start from scratch, and we are talking about 77,000 pages of evidence in discovery. We're live at the federal courthouse. Alicia Booth, Channel 4, the local station.